As many of you know, Versailles is probably one of the most extravagant palaces in the world. It is located in Paris, France, and it was completely transformed from a hunting lounge to the beautiful palace that we know now under Louis XIV or the Sun King. We can definitely go into more details about the king and his life in the palace in a separate video if you are interested. Leave some comment below. But let's start with some crazy, interesting, shocking facts about life in Versailles. Did you know that all the craftsmen who made the Hall of Mirror were assassinated? This is crazy. The Hall of Mirror is probably one of the most known and popular rooms of the palace. It is a long hallway full of mirrors. Around 357 mirrors are in that hall. At the time the palace was being built, Venice had the monopoly on making mirrors. So Louis XIV had to hire Venetian mirror makers, and they made mirrors especially for the palace. Later on, the assassination was ordered by the Italian government for giving away the secret of craftsmanship to the French. Isn't that a crazy story? Also, one of the nicknames of Versailles is the Peace Palace because several treaties and wars were signed in Versailles. One of them is the Treaty of Versailles that ended World War I in 1919. It was actually signed in the Hall of Mirror that was also called the Corridor of Light because originally, before electricity was installed in the palace, it was lit with over 20,000 candles. When Versailles was fully functioning, a total of 5,000 people between aristocrats, courtiers, and servants were living at the palace at the same time. As huge and extravagant as the palace is, outside of a few lucky ones, most people were living in crowded, tiny, and very unsanitary rooms. As you all know, at the time, plumbing did not exist. And honestly, being hygienic was not the norm either. Actually, a lot of people thought that bathing in warm or hot water was very bad for you because it would open your pores and consequently get you sick. So a lot of people were not taking showers for days, weeks, even months. On top of that, the vast majority of nobles did not have their own bathroom like the king. Many of them did have chamber pots, but there were not many spots in the palace to relieve yourself. So people emptied their bladder and their bowels anywhere in the palace, including the hallways. If Versailles was actually portrayed in movies, the way it looked at the time, it would be a palace with hallways full of poop, pee, and cats, because there were a lot of cats roaming around. Dead cats too. So the palace smelled horribly, and many people were dousing themselves with perfume to cover that stench. Another interesting fact, well, that other one was not interesting, but pretty disgusting. But another interesting fact about the palace is that it was very cold. The rooms were so large and there was so much marble and metal used to build the palace that it was extremely hard to maintain the temperature. All of the fireplaces in the palace were not enough to maintain a warm temperature. In a story dated March 1965, it was even noted that wine actually froze in glasses at the king's table. That's it for today. Those were just a few interesting facts about life in Versailles. I will be back next Saturday with a part 2. In the meantime, check out my other videos and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.